For this project, you're going to need a couple of items, starting with a pair of snipping pliers, a pair of gripping pliers, and a pair of garden clippers or something that will cut branches, and some floral wire. Here I'm just cutting off the extra branches. It's okay if you have these little nubs there, they add character to the wreath. They're also good for when you're wrapping the vine or your wire around the wreath. It gives it something to catch up on and hold tight. Now I'm just checking the flexibility of this branch. I'm not going to use the whole thing. Every branch that I pick up, I see how flexible it is and decide where I want to put it in the wreath. Now, because this is way too long and there's a lot of area on this piece that's not going to bend, I'm going to cut this off. Sometimes you have to break it and then cut. Now it comes down to finding extra pieces and wrapping them around each other. Now that I've got a few pieces paired up, I'm going to cut off a little bit of floral wire and use that to connect the sticks together. I'm also going to add in a nice piece of vine to go with it. There's really no rhyme or reason to how this is done. You just kind of have to put all the pieces together and see how they turn out. What I'm doing here is I'm twisting the wire around all the elements, and I'm taking my straight pliers and I'm making the twist a little tighter. Be sure you don't twist too hard because floral wire can be thin and you can end up twisting it so tight that you break it. Now that I've got everything put together, I'm going to add a few more sticks, and then I'm just going to start wrapping everything around each other. Now I'm going to use the vine to wrap all this up. Now eventually these leaves will die and start to fall away, but my first wreath is going to be a Halloween wreath, so by the time I start decorating it, the dead leaves really won't be a problem. They'll actually add to the character of the Halloween wreath. So I'm checking to make sure that these pieces are flexible, and I'm starting to work it around, and eventually when I get enough that I have and I can create a circle, I'll go ahead and start wrapping the branches around each other. And this is a little precarious, but I'm trying to use the vine to go all the way down to where the two branches meet so I can complete the circle. Once I've got the wreath made into a circle, the process will go a lot easier. So from here on out, it's just a process of twisting twigs around each other, twisting the vines around, and using the floral wire wherever needed. The items that I'm using for the actual wreath are branches from a magnolia tree, and I went out in my backyard and I have some branches that are at the bottom of the tree. So they are jetting out really far, and then they kind of curve up to get the leaves to reach the sunlight. And those were the areas where I took the branches from because they already have a natural curve, so that helps. Plus, if you get them fairly thin and use them almost immediately after you cut them, they're still really pliable. The other thing that I'm using for the vines is English ivy. Now, most people don't have a problem with English ivy. Very, very few people are allergic to it. Just make sure that the items that you choose to use are items that you are not allergic to and that won't break you out. Be extra careful when looking for vines. Make sure that you don't get poison ivy. Other than that, it's just a matter of finding things around your yard, finding branches that are flexible, finding vines that are growing. And if you don't have them in your yard, consider going to a friend's house or driving around and looking in the wild. But just, again, make sure that what you're picking, you're not breaking any laws or trespassing. And also make sure that you are getting things that are not poisonous. So you can find things in the nature. You don't have to go to the store necessarily and buy these, but I will tell you that a lot of craft sections of stores have pretty good fake English ivy, and the vines that they're made on can actually be used for this process as well. And you could probably find the twigs at your craft store as well. But I like to find things in my own yard and in nature and try to reuse what I have. Anyway, I'm going to let the rest of this video play, and I'm going to stop talking. And I hope you enjoy and have a happy Halloween.